The wind howls across the vast expanse of the Great Lakes, sending waves crashing against the rocky shores. Beneath the mist and fog, a silhouette looms, an old ship, its sails billowing in the breeze, its lights flickering like distant stars in the night. But as you draw closer, it vanishes without a trace, swallowed by the darkness and the lake itself. Is this a ghostly apparition, a phantom ship of the past returning from the depths? Or is it simply the trick of the mind, fueled by centuries of stories, mystery, and maritime tragedy? The Great Lakes are home to more than just water and waves. They harbor secrets, whispers of ghost ships that have sailed into history, never to be seen again. But what if these tales are more than just folklore? Could there be truth to the legends of spectral vessels lost to time, doomed to sail the waters forever? Or are they nothing more than ghost stories, passed down through generations to keep the mysteries of the lakes alive? The answer may not be as clear as the waters themselves. In the summer of 1899, the Lady Elgin, a mighty passenger steamer, set out from Chicago with over 400 souls aboard. The night was dark, the waves angry, and the fog thick as a blanket. Hours into its journey, disaster struck. The ship collided with a schooner, and in mere minutes it was swallowed by the lake. Only a handful of survivors made it to shore, but some say that on certain foggy nights the Lady Elgin can still be seen drifting aimlessly, its lights flickering like a ghost calling out to those who dare approach. Now, this could be chalked up to the natural beauty of the Great Lakes, where fog plays tricks on the eyes and shipwrecks are an everyday reality. Yet there's something about the Lady Elgin that continues to captivate the imagination. Could it really be the spirit of the lost ship, doomed to drift for eternity? Or is it simply a reflection of our need to believe that something survives after tragedy? The Lady Elgin is just one of many stories that surround the Great Lakes. Over 6,000 ships have met their end in these waters, their wrecks scattered along the lake beds, hidden beneath the shifting currents. In fact, the Great Lakes have claimed more than 30,000 lives, and still, some of these souls are said to wander, trapped in time. Ghost ships are said to materialize during storms or on eerie, fog-drenched mornings. But where does fact end and fiction begin? Let's take a closer look at some of the most famous ghost ships to sail the Great Lakes and ask the question, are these haunting tales grounded in reality, or are they simply the stuff of legend? One of the most chilling and well-known ghost ship stories involves the SS Edmund Fitzgerald. On November 10, 1975, the massive ore carrier, known for its size and strength, was caught in a violent storm on Lake Superior. It was the ship's last voyage. The storm proved too much, and the Edmund Fitzgerald sank to the bottom of the lake, taking 29 crew members with it. The wreckage was found over 500 feet below the surface. For years, the story of the Edmund Fitzgerald has been etched into the collective consciousness of those who live near the Great Lakes. And for some, its story didn't end with its sinking. Many claim to have seen strange lights on the water, like a phantom ship passing in the night, as if the Edmund Fitzgerald continues its journey, never to return home. Is it a ghost ship, or could the lights be the result of a natural phenomenon? Could they be the spirits of the crew, still watching over the wreckage? The eerie folk song "The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald" immortalized the tragedy, and since then, people have reported seeing strange, unexplained lights in the skies above Lake Superior. Whether it's the ship itself or just a trick of the mind, the mystery lingers, feeding the legend of the ghost ship. But it's not just famous vessels like the Lady Elgin and the Edmund Fitzgerald that fuel the ghost ship myth. Over the years, countless other accounts have surfaced. Some speak of a small, unnamed schooner that vanished in the early 1900s. They say it was last seen just before disappearing into the fog, its sails like shadowy figures drifting silently across the water. Since then, people have claimed to see it again, ghostly and haunting, appearing and disappearing in the same mysterious ways. One particularly eerie account comes from a seasoned sailor who, while crossing Lake Michigan in the 1930s, swore he saw a ship that appeared to be heading toward him, but when he blinked, it vanished. He wasn't alone in this experience. Others on board that ship claimed to see the same thing. The idea of a ship appearing only to disappear into thin air became an unsettling aspect of lake lore, strengthening the belief in ghost ships that had already taken root. And then there are the stories from the crew of the SS Algoma, who reported seeing a ghostly figure on board their ship in the 1920s. The figure was said to appear on the deck and stare out at the water before vanishing into thin air. Was it the spirit of a sailor lost at sea, or a product of a crew's overactive imagination brought on by the isolation and danger of life on the Great Lakes? Perhaps most unsettling are the stories told by those who've sailed these waters themselves. Some report hearing ghostly voices on the wind or seeing strange shapes in the distance, only to find nothing when they draw closer. Others speak of the unmistakable feeling of being watched, as if the spirits of the lake are never truly gone. These tales are so common that they've given rise to what's known as Lake Superior's phantom ships. Whether it's the eerie glow of a ship that never reaches shore or the unexplained noises on a still night, the ghost ship legends have grown into an iconic part of the region's folklore. But what if there's a rational explanation for it all? Could these ghost ships be a result of natural phenomena like the frequent fog and mist that cover the Great Lakes? The lakes are notorious for playing tricks on the eyes. Fata Morgana, a type of mirage, can cause distant objects like ships to appear to be floating in the air or distorted, creating the illusion of a ghostly presence. In the right conditions, the combination of fog, light, and atmospheric shifts could make the ghost ship stories seem more than a little plausible. Another theory points to the fact that many of the ships in the Great Lakes were victims of tragic, violent accidents. With so many lost lives and wrecks scattered across the waters, it's easy to see why the area has become rich with tales of restless souls. The sheer scale of the lake's deadly history could be enough to fuel the belief in ghost ships. But could there be another explanation entirely? Some researchers argue that the ghost ship stories are simply a reflection of the human psyche, which has a natural tendency to mythologize tragedy. When faced with the unimaginable loss of life at sea, people are inclined to create stories that make sense of the randomness of death. Ghosts, spirits, and hauntings serve as ways for survivors to process their grief and find meaning in the devastation. This could explain why ghost ship sightings have persisted throughout the years, even in modern times. So, what's the truth behind the stories of the ghost ships of the Great Lakes? Are they real, or are they simply the product of a deep-seated human need to find meaning in tragedy? Are these spectral ships the souls of those who met their end in the unforgiving waters, doomed to sail forever? Or are they nothing more than the result of a maritime culture steeped in mystery? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. For some, the ghost ships are a way to keep the memory of those lost at sea alive, a tribute to the lives that vanished without a trace. For others, they are a reminder of the unforgiving nature of the Great Lakes, where the line between fact and fiction can sometimes blur. Whatever the explanation, one thing is certain: the ghost ships of the Great Lakes are part of a rich tapestry of history, myth, and mystery that continues to captivate the imagination. Whether they are fact or fiction, they remind us that the waters of the Great Lakes still hold many secrets, secrets that may never fully be understood. And as long as the fog rolls over these waters, as long as the wind howls through the night, the legend of the ghost ships will continue to haunt us, challenging our understanding of what's real and what lies beyond the veil of the unknown. And so the ships continue to sail, whether in the mind or in the mist. Whether they are truly ghost ships or just echoes of a haunting past, the mysteries of the Great Lakes are as deep and vast as the waters themselves, carrying the stories of those lost at sea for generations to come.